In this course, we're going to use pastry tips often for various purposes. For example, we'll use them when piping macaron shells and when decorating them with royal icing. Because of that, we'll take a bit of time to learn a few important facts about pastry tips. If you're already familiar with this subject, you can safely skip this lesson. First off, it's important to mention that pastry tips come in many different sizes and shapes. They're used for various purposes, such as piping decorations on cakes, desserts, and cookies. Before you use them, they need to be attached to pastry bags, which are filled with the material you intend to pipe. This could be ganache, pastry cream, or even mousse. When you squeeze the bag, the material that's in it comes out through the tip, and you can then draw lines and create any shape you want. In general, the wider the opening of the tip, the thicker the lines or shapes you'll get. So when you need to pipe small or intricate shapes, which require a greater degree of control, such as these letters, you should use tips with relatively narrow opening. In contrast, when you create larger shapes with thicker lines, you should choose wider tips. Now you may be wondering how to figure out the width of pastry tips. Well, in fact, it's quite easy because each of them has a number. These numbers range from 0 and up. The larger the number, the wider the tip. By the way, tips are also useful as cutters because of their perfect circular openings. Here too, you can use the tip's number as a guide to the radius of circles it can cut. As you can see, tip numbers are very important, so whenever I use a pastry tip in this course, I'll mention its number. This way you'll know which one to use. One thing to note though is that there are multiple brands of pastry tips and they often mark the tip size differently. I use tips that are made by Ateco, which are similar to those that come from Wilton. These are the most popular brands and I highly recommend using them. I placed links to the tips that I'm using in the class store in case you'd like to purchase them. At the end of the day, the best way to find the tip that fits your needs is simply to try different sizes and see what's working for you.